Nike Rejuvn8 versus the Crocs Echo Wave, and last but not least, we got the Nike Recovery Clog. You guys, let me know before we spark this up, what is your current best slide, or it could be a clog, or whatever is not a sneaker per se. So let me know down below in the comment section right now before we cut this video off. But let's go ahead and see what we got in store.
So I recently did a video on the Nike ReactX Rejuvn8, and this is a pretty nice pair of foam clogs that Nike created. Honestly,
it really
I was kind
is.
of worried they were going to come to the
It honestly gives me that vibe of like a Crocs. If y'all see like where my mouse cursor is out on the right near the shoe, you see these little like gibbet spots. I wonder if they're going to add gibbets
A game, but they delivered a pretty awesome product in the Rejuvn8s. And I wanted to go ahead and compare two other products with you guys because I do have both of them. And so we have the New Balance Fresh Foam X Recovery clogs, and then we also
solid. It looks solid, but
both of them. And so we have the New Balance.
Now, guys, I am a little biased because I like looks. I really like the looks of things. If I'm buying something I'm gonna wear, it gotta look good. So I probably would still go Rejuvn8, y'all. In my comparison video I did between the ReactX, Rejuvn8, and the Crocs Echo Wave, I said I personally would go with the Rejuvn8 just because it fits more of my vibe and my style. But yeah, I don't think the New Balance will take me over on as far as design.
And then we also
gotta
have
see what
the
other
Crocs
factors they got.
Waves that I recently reviewed.
But he making those Echo Waves looking good on feet.
Clogs. And then we also have,
I don't know if I got too big of a size, but they look really good right here.
The Crocs Echo Waves that
right here they look fire.
I recently reviewed as well. So I reviewed these earlier in the year. Recently I did their slide version. So that's one thing I will say. New Balance does have a slide version of the Recovery. Absolutely amazing. Super comfortable. Better.
And I heard they got a slide version
than these, in my opinion. And these are pretty good, but the slides are better just overall because, well, for a couple reasons. Check out my review. But anyway, these I really like. This might be my favorite, most comfortable pair of Crocs to date. I think this is better than most of the other stuff out there. Man,
I love me a pair of Crocs, y'all. The classic Crocs, classic Croc Clog, I guess the name for it. Man, I wear those on the daily. I wear those to the gym. Actually, mainly just the gym, but they're just a fire thing to just throw on. Got through the trash. It's just like an easy, very accessible.
So absolutely love what
very
they did
nice thing to have in the collection.
Waves, and then Nike kind of bringing that same energy with the ReactX Rejuvn8s. And I feel like there is some similarities between some of these and some differences. So I'll give you guys kind of my overall thoughts, and then hopefully it's somewhat informative to you guys if you guys are on the market for one of these. If you guys want to support the channel though, and you guys like the content, I have links in the description to all the products. If you guys use those links, I do get credit with respective brands, and it's greatly appreciated when you guys do that. So as for pricing, the Nike ReactX Rejuvn8 is $70. The Crocs Echo Waves are $70, and the New Balance Fresh Foam X Recoveries are $100. But you can
$100? Isn't that not wild, y'all? That's crazy. Let me know if y'all spent $100 on these right here. But man, I feel bad for the next generations, man. We gonna have slides coming in at $200. Like, this is crazy. I feel like sneakers used to be $100. Now we got slides coming at $100. But that is just outrageous.
$80 on select times.
That's a major turnoff.
Let's go ahead first though and get into the weight of each of them. This is the Waves, and these weigh 9.8 ounces. They gotta be the most expensive. And this is
not expensive. The Waves gotta be the heaviest for sure.
Men's size 9. So typically I usually
how much?
Weigh 9.8 ounces.
9.8.
This is a men's size 9. So typically I usually go up a half a size since I'm a 9.5, and all three of these are offered in full sizes only. So that means a 9 or a 10. I'm a 9.5, like I said, so I have to go down or up. This one I went down to a 9, and that was the right move. If I went up to a 10, it swims. It's way too big. Next we have the New Balance Fresh Foam X.
I had to go like 2 sizes down. They still wouldn't fit.
9.5 ounces, so sub 10-ounce pair as well. And these are a size 9 as well, so I did go down a half size, and 9 is the right size.
So
I did have a 10 previously, way too big. So next we have the ReactX Rejuvn8, and these weigh in at 8.5 ounces. So that makes these the lightest out of the three. So that's kind of a point for Nike, a good move there. The sizing to these though, I did go with a size 10 men's, not a size 9. And size 10 was the right move. Like, this is a better fit for me than a 9. A 9 would probably be too snug. This one fits me like the other two 9s do. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So a size 10, and these are 2 size 9s for sizing comparison, and I'm normally a 9.5. Now all three of these have different proprietary foams in them. Let's go ahead and get into those. First, with the Nike, you have the ReactX, as it says. ReactX is kind of like an in-betweener compound. They have Nike React, which is one of the proprietary foams, and then they have also Zoom X, which is an ultra soft foam used on like the marathon runners. This is ReactX though, it's kind of the one in between. We saw it on the Infinity Run 4. That was the first shoe that ReactX has been on. Since then, it's been on a bunch of different things. It's pretty awesome overall, and this version feels really soft on feet. Now for the Crocs, you do have a Crocs Light upper, which is the same like material as you get on the Crocs Clogs. You know, the standard Crocs Clogs that we all know. But the insole is actually where the magic happens. It doesn't look like it's anything crazy, but it's insanely soft. Very, very good underfoot. And this is the Light Ride material on the insole. So it's a dual density foam setup. And I don't know how they fuse it in here. It looks like it's glued in. Maybe it's fused together when they're actually creating the shoes. You can't take out the insoles, but it is embedded in here perfectly, and it feels great. A very, very nice recovery feel in here. If you're looking for something that is surprisingly like a sneaky sleeper, this is one that doesn't look as comfortable as it is, and in the inside, it's crazy. It's the same vibes that you got on the Echoes, the original ones. This one is just done in a better, like kind of a more streamlined, more fancier, I guess, modern look, and I really like the look of this one. Now you have the New Balance Fresh Foam X Recovery Clogs, and this one is...
I ain't gonna lie. And I feel like it's very interesting when you think about like how people view sneakers and how it can be so different from your own view. Because for me personally, I'm not really too big of a fan of that whole design of the Echo Wave. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree in the comment section, but I don't know, it just isn't my vibe. I don't know what it was about it. I kind of liked them through picture, but when I got them in person, it kind of was like a different story. But, yeah, I don't know if it was just like how bulky it was. I don't know if because I didn't really get a right size, even though I sized down like twice. But that could have played a factor in it. I really don't know, to be honest, yo. I really like the
a little bit different because you actually have a drop-in insole with the Fresh Foam X. Now, this one has a little nib at the bottom, so you can't actually transfer this into other shoes, but you could probably saw that nib off and use this as a Fresh Foam X recovery insert.
That's crazy how they have fresh foam in there, though.
I was like, this would be so comfortable because it's pretty soft and squishy. Now, this Fresh Foam X is not the same as the Fresh Foam X that you get on like the 1080V 14s. Like that's very, very soft underfoot. This is really soft underfoot for sure, but I feel like the newer stuff is a little bit softer overall. That being said, I like the fact that you can take out the insole. I think that that's a pretty cool feat. And also you do have a little bit of nibs here on the footbed that gives you a little bit of like a massage feeling. Pretty nice overall, I like that. And overall, it's really soft and squishy underfoot. I tried all three of these on side by side, and I'll tell you, all of them feel good. Like, first of all, like if you've never tried any of these out, you're gonna be like, dude, these are better than some of the other stuff that I've tried out there on the market. All of them are soft. All of them have a nice squishy feel. I will say that the New Balance one does have the softest feel, in my opinion, overall, but everybody has a difference in opinion, of course. But overall, I feel maybe it's because the heel section right here, the heel squish is exceptional because of the extra little bit right there. And then I would say probably second, honestly, both of these were really, really good. Like, they were very competitive. I wouldn't really give the edge to either of them with the soft, squishy sort of vibes. All of them really, really solid. I mean, if you had to give a number system, maybe like a 9 and then maybe like an 8.5 for both of them. Like, it's not that crazy of a difference. They're all really good. Now, when you move to the outsole of these, this is where there is a little bit of a difference because the Crocs pair doesn't have like an actual traction pattern or anything like that on the bottom of the Clogs. The New Balance and the Nikes actually have a rubber traction on the bottom. So New Balance has rubber pods everywhere. These are actually rubber outsole pods all over the bottom, and that makes it a pretty robust pair right there. Definitely a pair that has more longevity because of the extra rubber, but it also adds to the weight a little bit. From the Nike perspective, you do have a rubber traction pattern as well that has little cutouts, which decreases the weight a little bit, which is probably why these weigh the least. But honestly, I'm actually surprised that the Crocs Echo Waves weigh more than the Rejuvn8s. The Rejuvn8s are actually pretty solid, but again, it has extra traction. I feel like the Crocs, though, has the proprietary Crocs Light upper and midsole, and they know what they're doing. It's very, very durable stuff, so you don't actually need rubber instead of the Crocs Light. The Crocs Light itself is extremely durable, which is why these have an advantage on the fact that you have that on the outsole and then also on the upper. It's just tried and true, very, very durable. Now, as for breathability on all three of these, it's going to come down to your foot and which one you're going to find the most breathable. Nike has the ventilation holes in the forefoot. That is it. You don't have anything in the back or the heel. New Balance has ventilation holes in the forefoot as well as the back, so you have extra ventilation there. And then the Crocs only has the ventilation actually in the forefoot in one, and then the side on the back. So kind of, I guess it kind of wave, it goes through here and here. Honestly, it's like when you have an all foam upper, like you don't really think of ventilation. So I don't think any of them are going to be extremely good, but I like that there's at least some forethought in all three of them where you have some form of ventilation holes. I would say probably New Balance is the most balanced because it has all over the place. Nike has it just, again, only in the front. And then Crocs has it in a couple different places. But all in all, if ventilation's your thing, you're probably not going to go with these. Now, alternate versions. You do have an alternate version of both of these. You don't have an alternate version of this yet. I pleaded for Nike to make one in my last review video of these, because I think that if Nike made a ReactX Rejuvn8 slide, it would be amazing. With this midsole, it would be insane.
When did this video come out? Because I think this video came out, what, like 3 months ago? I know for sure a slide came out. So I can find it on the sidebar. If y'all can see my cursor right here, there is actually one coming out. Or actually, I think it came out already. I'm not too sure, but they did come out with the slide. So that should be pretty interesting. I need to react to one of those videos.
It feels excellent on feet. The Nike Calm slides were terrible. Like, I feel like this would be something that would be awesome. New Balance has the Refresh Foam X Recovery Clogs, but then the slides, they're amazing. So I actually like the slides better than the Clogs.
I wonder how much the slides go
The
for.
midsole is super nice, soft, squishy. The heel is a little bit wider even on the slides, which is part of the primary reason why I like it a little bit better. And then the Crocs Echo Waves, I don't know if they have a wave version, but they do have Crocs Echo slides. I want them to do a wave version because I like the look of this one better than the regular Echoes. But the Crocs Echo slides are goated. They're definitely super, super comfortable. I would say that both of these slide versions are one of the top tier, like, comfortable slides on the market. Now, I mentioned the narrowness of the heel of this one right here. I would say that that is probably the only thing that's a little bit weird. You do have a lot of reinforcement up through the heel and stuff, but it is kind of a little bit narrow with the pad on the back. So that's kind of a weird spot for that one. And then also from the Nike one, the whole upper and stuff, it's kind of rounded quite a bit. So it might be a little bit weird because it's so rounded. So it is a little bit narrow because of how they round up the sides from just the little base on the bottom. I would say Crocs definitely has the wider base of the three.
Nice
where you
wide
can
platform.
see, like, on the heel, it's very wide. And then you have a lot of width in the forefoot of the clog as well. Now, all three of them have a lot of width in the forefoot. So I think that that's definitely a good thing. But I think from the heel perspective, the Crocs Echo Waves are definitely the widest for those people that need that extra wide feet love. Also, I wanted to mention all three of these are excellent choices if you want to be able to put these on with no hands and stuff. The openings are so wide, you could slide your foot in very, very easily. Both the Nike and the New Balance version have kind of like
I don't know how to use my hand.
notch cut out right here,
so
it's
I had a
very
small
easy to get on.
size.
And the Crocs Echo ones,
I really went from a size 11 to a size 8.
Just kind of opened up
that
even
is
more.
crazy,
So these ones are just more wide than the other two. Now, as for which one has the best aesthetics, I think that that's going to be obviously up to the consumer, like which one you think looks the best. Like, everybody's opinion is going to be different, and that's the beauty of, like, footwear and just fashion, I guess, and whatever. You have your own opinion, and your opinion is the only one that should matter. For me personally, I like all of them. I mean, I like the side profile view of these New Balance ones, but I don't like the toe down. It looks so weird right here. I'm not a big fan of that, but it does look kind of like Robocopy, kind of futuristic. I think the Echo Waves is definitely one that I really like because of just the flow of the shoe looks really, really solid. And then Nike did a good job on that on these as well. I think if Nike changed the oval holes on the sides right here and then integrated like some ventilation with the Nike swooshes instead, I would like these better. It would have more flow. But I would say, like, just from aesthetics, this one flows better. And I actually like the Crocs Echo Waves, probably the best out of all three of these. But that doesn't mean I don't like either of these. It's just out of the three, again, personal preference, I think this is the best looking one. Anyways, that is my breakdown of these three. Leave a comment in the comment section which one.
So that's it, y'all. Let me know what y'all would pick. Me personally, I honestly gotta try the New Balance. The design isn't too bad, but then again, I still think I would rock with the Rejuvn8 just because I like that style aspect more to it. But yeah, you guys let me know. Let me know what you value more. Let me know what you like more and things of that. But if you do want to see a review on either the Nike Rejuvn8 or the Crocs Echo Wave, I recommend click this playlist right here, and you'll be able to find both those videos in there.